Hi, I'm Tammy, and I am the author of When the Lion Roars, Answering the Call. Uh, I wanted to talk a little bit about the chapter on reincarnation and past life memory, which does also relate to the chapter that you may have already read on the Akashic Records, as the Akashic Records have to do with past lives and past life memories and different experiences our souls have gone through. What stood out in this chapter for me, and while I was writing it, was one of the people who was really somebody who helped me to start stepping into who I am as a teacher, as a student, as a person who has come to this planet to help others initiate their own healing, is that there has been some hesitancy and some reluctance on my part as a mental health practitioner to talk about past lives and to talk about the psycho-spiritual nature of my work and to talk about being an intuitive. And in this chapter, you'll read that Dr. Brian Weiss, who is a pretty well-known psychiatrist, had used hypnotherapy in his practice and had kind of like accidentally stumbled upon one of his patients and then subsequent patients who were talking about past life memories. Those memories were, he was able to also confirm those memories and validate those memories. So him coming out to the medical community and talking about that this is a thing, that this is something that um, he, helped the medical community understand, and just taking the risk as a medical practitioner and saying that there's more beyond the clinical and the medical model is really part of the reason and reasons why I felt more comfortable stepping out myself, as I'd already been doing that. And then the book was introduced to me, Many Lives, Many Masters, Messages from the Masters by Dr. Brian Weiss. So I thought you would find that interesting, and hopefully like you find it as inspiring as I did. And as a practitioner of being in the field of mental health, it's not something that's always talked about, and it's not something that's always accepted as real, as people having experiences that are of the spiritual nature, that are of the energetic nature, being able to communicate with those who are in spirit, being able to see energy. And that's part of the reason why I became a therapist, was because I wanted to validate that for people, that that's real, and it doesn't mean that you have a mental illness. So reincarnation and past life memory are things that we go through as souls, that we choose to have several different lifetimes, maybe here on this planet or on other planets, and that we do some pre-birth planning that I talked a little bit about in this chapter as well, that we meet with our guides, that we meet with those who are part of our spirit team, and we plan what are the lessons, what are the experiences, who do we want to come back with in this lifetime, and how do we want to experience these lessons and be students and teachers at the same time. So I hope you enjoy this chapter. There's a lot of information in it. I think maybe you will find it interesting, the concept of reincarnation. Perhaps you've already been introduced to that, and past life memories, knowing that children tend to have past life memories kind of like easier than us as adults, because they're closer to what we call source energy, that they've come from source closer to birth, and that they've not yet been influenced by some of the influences that we have here on the earth. Not, some of the teachers who are well-meaning, or maybe parents who may have not understood that their children are psychic and intuitive, and that they're having these past life memories, and maybe they didn't validate those. So you'll read some of those stories in this chapter. You'll see, and maybe you've experienced some of these yourself in the form of like deja vus. Maybe your children or someone close to you or yourself has had one of those experiences where you felt like you've lived a different lifetime and you've reincarnated back on this planet at this time. So enjoy the chapter, and thanks for reading the book.